Hi, welcome back, my wise astrology tribe. Cosmic Insight Astrology. I am your co-pilot, Christina. All right. Today I'm going to analyze a few charts for you, and it's not about yet the eclipse, which is going to happen actually in 5 days. I'm going to do that video for you tonight, okay? But I did a lot of researches, and probably most of you have enough, like because everywhere is the unfortunate tragedies coming out from, even from the faucet, the Charlie Kirk assassination. As you know that before, I was always worried about Candy Seven and Tucker Carlson. And right now, like 3 weeks ago, I did a writing piece. You can read that. And also in my videos, I mentioned that it's going to be another assassination, just like it happened with the Luigi thing when he actually killed the CEO of the insurance company. I want to show you something, and you do whatever you have to do, but I want you to think and analyze what I see over here, okay? Let me see, maybe you see my face a little bit better. So I'm going to show some chart for you, but you also know I'm the queen of the quotes, and I would like to also just read a few quotes for you. As you know, one of my really, really favorite um, series is the Revenge series, and I found 3 things over here what I'm going to read for you, and that is 3 quotes. Justice like beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Some see an innocent victim. Others will see evil incarnate getting exactly what's deserved. Okay. And other quote over here it is like when Conrad Grayson said, I've always deemed karma constantly created to live the spirits of unaccomplished, but recent events have given me pause. And Emily Throne said, I have always believed in the natural balance of things. We reap what we sow. And there is the third quote over here. For the righteous, the revolution is a joyous event, the realization of divine truth. But for the wicked, for the malicious, revolution can be far more terrifying when dark secrets are exposed and sinners are punished for their trespasses. All right. So just, keep thinking on these quotes, please. If you are on my channel, you are here because of you are a member of my tribe, obviously. And then I'm going to start to show you charts over here. And I'm going to share, and I'm not going to start with Tucker Carlson, actually. I'm on Tucker Carlson right now. I want to start actually with President Trump. So the US president is Donald Trump, and I also going to show you the US and maybe even Britain and King Charles a little bit, and just for a tiny little bit, so you're going to understand. Okay, so here is Trump's chart, and I'm going to show you also the progress chart as well, because it's very important to see everything. Okay, I put 4 asteroids over here. So I put actually America. I put, let me see, is it transit? Yes, it's natal and transit. I put America, I put Israel, I put Palestine and Iran. But Iran, you don't have asteroid like Iran, you have Irani, that's the closest asteroid, and Palestrina, not Palestina, but okay, those are the closest to those two countries. All right, so what's going on here? So look at Trump. Trump has an ascendant 29 degrees, right, in Leo. And Mars gonna go actually to Scorpio really soon on right before the eclipse. And it's going to happen actually on September 21st, and it's gonna be here for about 6 weeks, right? 5 weeks. And then obviously it's going to oppose his midheaven once. Why is it very important? Because in January, I was the very first person last year who said Trump going to be actually attacked, and most likely it's going to be a gun, and it has to be something with his head. And it was the ear, right? But listen to me and listen, and just the consequences, what not the consequences, but think and put the pictures together over here. So this is the natal and transit chart. So Mars going to travel through his fourth house, right? So he has a square and a grand square between Leo, Leo, Taurus, Scorpio, and Aquarius. Okay. Pluto is in his seventh house of open enemies. Okay. Pluto is actually opposing Transit America and natal Pluto in his chart, but also he has Saturn over here by progression. I'm gonna show the progress chart as well, okay? And Israel also by progression here. No, not by progression, but Saturn is over here. So I have to show, yes, the progress chart for you. So what's happening right now? In 2024 April, when we had Uranus and Mars actually conjuncted and started a synodic cycle on his midheaven, actually, and on Algol, right? And it was squaring with his natal Mars and ascendant. He got to be a target, and somebody shoot him in the ear. Okay, all right. So right now, Mars is gonna all the way and going to oppose that point. What's happened in 2024 April, and you know when it's gonna happen? 1 year exactly, November 4th, when the election was won, right? So, because of November 4th, Mars going to be over here on 29 degrees, 40 something minutes. And it's also opposing Uranus as well. Uranus is not back yet to Taurus. In 2 days, it's gonna actually dip back into Taurus and it's gonna be in fall, but it's already conjuncting the midheaven. It's always conjuncted because it's never 8 degrees apart yet. But right now it's getting back to the point, so it's triggering that point. So November 4th, 5th, 7th, 6th going to be a very, very dangerous time for him. All right. And why do I want to show that also for you, the progress chart for him? So I'm going to do the chart selection over here. And I'm going to do, what do I want? A progress chart for him. So whole sign, natal transit. Let's see the progression, guys. Okay. Yeah, progression. And look at this chart. So I put actually, so by progression, Israel for a long time on his midheaven. Israel was already progress Israel on his midheaven when he got shot on the head, right? That's Trump last year. When Mars going to come over here and going to oppose transit Uranus and natal midheaven and progress Israel, right? It's also going to conjunct his progress moon as well in Scorpio, right? It make it more dangerous. But just check this over here. And it's going to create a T-square with his America, Mars, and ascendant conjunction. All right. Pluto is in the open enemy sphere. So what do we know about this chart? Because progress Israel is on the midheaven of Trump. Trump is totally controlled by Israel, right? It is just like absolutely in their hand. Okay. Then you can see Saturn at 4 degrees opposing transit Pluto over here, because remember, transit Pluto is in Aquarius, opposing that over here. And progress midheaven and transit and progress Saturn also conjuncting on natal Pluto, opposing transit Pluto. So this is a very, very difficult and dangerous time for Trump. Okay, here is Trump. Then we're going to go actually and let's see Charlie Kirk. Okay, so here it is. Charlie Kirk, we're gonna go here. First, I'm going to show obviously the progress chart because I'm on it already. So we don't know the time of the birth for Charlie Kirk, but I'm gonna tell you why did I ratify his chart and why is he a Capricorn? Because he was a political and political journalist or, political commentator. All right. And then I'm going to tell you why the ninth house. Ninth house is high education, right? And he has Venus over here in Virgo. Venus is in fall, and he never finished college. He was a dropout at the very first semester, and he was talking on campuses, but against high education, right? Because that's what happened. He didn't believe in high education, but Chiron is in the ninth house also. And I feel there was a bitterness because of his dropout. Also, he has Libra, Jupiter and Sun conjunction and Libra moon also. So it's a new moon here in the 10th house. He was always on stage and, obviously, like he was talking to people. He was seen by others and honored by some, not for everyone, because obviously they want to divide us. If there is left and right, and there is Democrat or Republican, there is always going to be hate. So half of the country won't like someone who is representing some kind of ideology or, even a political party. However, he was out on stage, he was honored by some, and he was in center of attention, Libra. But Libra is, the sun is in, actually in fall, because the sun is exaltation in Aries and in fall in Libra and in Via Combusta already. So his light, his brightness going to disappear. The Via Combusta is very, very dangerous. It's between Libra 15 degrees and Scorpio 15 degrees. So that's what you have to check over here first. And then actually progress, yes, that's progression. Progress America was on his moon. So he was advocate for America and started to be American first. He always said he's America first, but before and look at that. Look at the 11th house. Why do I think he's Capricorn? Not just because he was a political commentator, but 11th house is anyone who is lobbyist, who is court system lobby, VIP people, influential friends, and it's in Scorpio. And there is a stellium by Mars and Pluto. I told you guys, Mars Pluto actually within 12 degrees, so it's still conjuncting for him. And I truly believe midheaven as well. He had a scorpionic midheaven. And look at that. The influence by scorpionic energy, very, very powerful people who are controlling, people who could be dangerous. Mercury was actually the transferring the light between Mars and Pluto. So these dangerous people needed his voice for advocate for them, all right? But Pluto and Mars, obviously, it could be an evil energy. It could be dictatorism. It could be the energy of cartel, mafia, like dictatorship. It could be terrorism as well. And, Mercury is the voice. Pluto is death. Mars is shooting. So it is showing clearly by influential people. All right. So here, yes, the education we understood over here. He was a little bit bitter of, dropping out. Chiron is over here, and that's why Venus is also in fall. All right. And then let's see where is Israel for him in the natal chart. Israel for him is actually 29 degrees and its karmic degree in Cancer. And Jupiter by transit uh, entered Cancer, ingressed Cancer, and it's exalted everything in Cancer. So it's exalted the pressure from Israel, what became an open enemy for him. All right, so it is very, very simple. However, it's also very interesting. Irani, it's in 20 degrees in his chart in Capricorn, and Israel 29 degrees, and it's oppose each other's, right? So he was, confronted by these subjects over here. So definitely that. I'm trying to explain myself and express myself. Uh, like on a non-biased way. Anyway, it is always going to be some bias because we are human being. Look at progress moon. It's in Sagittarius, but in the 12th house. What does it mean over here? He wanted to have freedom and liberation for the people, what he was advocate for, right? But it's in the 12th house. There was something behind the scene actually which controlled him and he couldn't be. So that was his. But let me see just the chart selection. I'm gonna go to his transit, okay? Day, and then actually we're gonna go to transit over here, transit, and I want to do September 10th for him. And we know 12, 23rd, he gets shot, and I have another chart to show you also, uh, but here. Okay. So, for example, this is the transit over here. And I'm going to tell you the 11th house is influential people, right? Someone who is supporting energy, VIP, right? Uh, for example, it is money from your career or money into your career, right? Because it's the second from the 10th. Getting some money. And like for example, Pluto and Mars together is for example, Mercury in Scorpio, it could be something with bribing. So what I actually was reading and doing my research at the very beginning of his career. So he was very young when he started this. He was 18 years old. Obviously, no matter what you learn or who you start, he was very lucky because he had Jupiter and Sun conjunction, obviously, in the 10th house. Right before 40, you're going to be very famous and doing your whole entire career. But because of somebody who could be dangerous, put money into your career, and it's scorpionic energy, and there is Pluto and Mars over there. They control your midheaven, they control your career. They're not going to let you off the hook. For example, what they say when you enter cartel or mafia, even if you do one business with them, you cannot get out from there. Only with death, unfortunately. Or they say that about heroin as well. If you shoot up, usually you are not capable to get rid of it or become sober. Most of the time, heroin could be like, okay, right now there is a lot of addiction center which could be like maybe 10% of the people saved and not going back to addiction. But it is very, very difficult things. So that's what they say. Usually it's not coming out alive from the situation. So, what said, I don't know if you see Kyle and Crystal, and like, and I have a lot of people like the Katie Harper show and all of them I'm watching, and they said there was some kind of 40 million invested on his bank account previously because he was really pro-Israel, and recently he turned against Israel and he actually became true America first, right? And he was like, okay, foreign politics and lobbies don't belong from our country. And the very end, he actually refused to go to visit Israel and Bibi's invitation. And also, he didn't accept the money from them. Okay? All right. Okay, that's the story behind. Uh, so because of influence, people put money into his career, but very, very bright in the early ages, but obviously Pluto, Mercury, and Mars over here, that is something to do with neck, right? And something shooting and death by someone influential. All right. And let's see where is actually, for example, Israel right now for him. he has an Israel return and Jupiter exalted that in the open enemies, guys. And it is if he has ascendant at Capricorn, who I assume he has, because I checked everything for him. And he, for example, it's also another a very good aligning with his life. He was a father of two children, and the fifth house is children, and Taurus is nature. And what he did all the time, he put away his phone when he went home, and he loved nature. The wife said nature was God to him, like he could talk to God in nature, and they were hiking with the children always in the wood, and they lived in woody areas. So that's definitely also confirming he is a Capricorn rising, and it's about 14 degrees. And actually, the asteroid Israel was against his ascendant, and Jupiter exalted that, and it's open enemy. So you put this together, guys, however you want to. And America, it's in his eighth house, died for America. Eighth house is death, it's transformation. America died for America. Okay, so that's what happened. And when the eclipse happened 3 days later, the eclipse opposed actually to his ninth house. There is actually something to do with, and the Kazimi happened there as well, on the 13th. Um, so, and the energy already built up between the Kazimi and the eclipse, actually the 13th and the 7th, when he was shot, the midpoint of the Kazimi and the eclipse was the 10th. And it's happened in the ninth house. And what is ninth house? Universities. All right. So just put it together and start to think. But I want to show you guys Candice Owen. Oh my God. And I'm really scared for her. I'm really scared for her. So Candice Owen, I didn't find her time of birth, but totally Scorpio ascendant. And I think Pluto very close to her ascendant. Why is that? She is investigating. She is actually could be very, very obsessive. She doesn't give up. And for example, like she always have to find out the truth. She does researches. She goes into. She's like a private detective. All right. So here it is. And because of midheaven, I truly believe she has that in Leo because she is shining on her channel. She has her charisma, she has her beauty, and she's shining actually in her stage at home, whatever. Because yeah, and because she has that at home, she has the what is that the office at home and the studio. Anyway, she's shining over there. And also, Candice Owen also was dropout. She has an undergrad journalist college. She went in New York, but the first semester also she dropped out, but it was something with finances. And look, she also have Chiron in the ninth house, so she also felt bad about that. She wanted to do this education, and Mars is also a 0 degree Cancer, and it's in fall. So she was angry about that, and she was mad about that. She really wanted to study, and somehow they betrayed her. She couldn't study. Anyway, she's a genius woman, though, because she's very, very educated. I really, I mean, I'm not agreeing with some of her political view, but that's all right. But she is definitely very educated on her own. All right. So, and definitely midheaven is in Leo. So I'm 100% sure Candice Owen is actually Scorpio. Look at that, guys. Palestine, actually, it's on her Pluto right now. All right, and I'm going to tell you and show you right now also the progress chart as well, because that one was a little bit dangerous. Okay, here. So for example, where is Israel for her? Israel for her in the sixth house, and in areas. So she is fighting. She's constantly fighting against. The lobbyist and a foreign country to actually have influence in our country. All right, where is America for her? in the eighth house, and she is advocating for America, and America and Palestine is conjuncting actually in her eighth house in Gemini, which is advocating for it, and she would die for it. She not gonna shut up. She never gonna shut up. All right. Okay. What else happening over here? Let's see. She also have a nodal return soon. A nodal return could be very, very difficult. I would think she will have another child until August 28, 2026. Probably she gonna have her fifth child and then she will be finished, I believe. But I think there is another child coming in their life. However, okay, so then she has Pluto and Sun opposition in her chart. This is power struggle. This is very difficult, right? And let me show you something else right now. I do believe anyway, because America gonna be here for her, asteroid America in the 10th house for another 3 years around. I truly believe it's going to be something like she went to go for a president maybe in 3 years. She said she never wanna do that, and why would she do that? This is insane. But somehow I fear right now either vice president, something she will be asked, and she could within 3 years. Okay, Israel, transit Israel, it's in her ninth house. Anything to do with education, foreign policies, ninth house is foreign policies, right? Jupiter exalted in the ninth house, getting justice. So she is actually fighting for justice over there. Okay, let me show you something else here, guys. So we're going to go and chart selection and gonna show her progress chart here. Very, very important, her progress chart. And then I get a little bit scared for her here. Listen. Progress Israel is on her sun in the seventh house of open enemies, just like Charlie Kirk had it in naturally in natal chart and by transit, okay? And it's opposing her ascendant and Pluto. And remember, transit Palestine was also between ascendant and Pluto and opposing that. So talking about, researching about Palestine opposing Israel, and it's on her sun. Sun is your body, your vitality. I mean, it's vitality, it's your life. The ascendant is your body. Pluto is exit, could be exit. But it could be also just totally censored, for example, because of the sun is also career. So they can delete her entire YouTube account. I mean, if they would, obviously people would go and resign again, but they could manipulate and cancel her somehow just totally cancel her. Like the next few, I mean, I would say the next 2 years, it's very, very difficult and dangerous for her to talk out, unfortunately. All right, let's check actually Israel, guys. I wanted to show something in Israel as well, and I didn't find asteroid Russia, but somehow I'm going to do something with it. Oh no, I'm going to see Tucker Carlson a little bit because I was scared for him as well. And Tucker Carlson has an ascendant 24 degrees Cancer. All right, so he right now, actually, Jupiter is exalting him. Uh, all right. But when Saturn and Neptune gonna go back to Aries and Chiron is in 5 degrees Aries for him, it could actually make his career difficult next year. So I would think something about his career could become difficult. However, but I see for Tucker Carlson, where is America for him? America in the fifth house by transit, sixth house in Sagittarius for him. So I believe he will write a book and publish a book very soon about the liberation of America from something, liberation and freedom of America from something. Also, I would think because of this could happen. Let me see what I saw something like he will. Um, change and shift a little bit of political ideology, and he go like somewhere in the middle and become some kind of party maybe he will create, which is going to talk about free speech and liberation. So that's very, very important, okay? He has an exalted moon. It's very nice. He has detriment Jupiter, by the way. Candice also has detriment Jupiter, so that's very, important as well to see, because of they worked very hard to achieve what they have. They had to sweat blood to, not Carson, because Carson came from a very wealthy family and educated, but definitely the other two were like working very hard and constantly. All right, so that's Tucker Carlson. So what I see over here with, let me go back to transit a little bit. And, oh no, that's transit. Am I on transit? No, I was on progression because I wanted to see also something for him by transit over here just a little bit. So is it, so Mars is in Libra for him right now. It's gonna go to Scorpio in the fifth house, and it's going to be across to his Saturn. So a position, he will lose some kind of benefactors. He will lose some kind of benefactors for some who, he got kicked out also from TV, the news stations, but even Fox TV, but that's all right. Right now, he also going to lose someone, but I believe he's capable to move forward, and he's good at that. But however, Mars in the fifth going to square Pluto in his eighth house, and it's going to create a T square with Saturn over here. So it's also very dangerous, all right? So it could be something, oh, yeah, it is somebody is playing with his money. Somebody is maybe bribing his livelihood. And that's why they want to censor him somehow with his livelihood. So for Tucker Carlson, it's more like money matters. It's more like, okay, if you are not following the rules, if you keep talking against us, you're not going to be able to do your shows, or you're not going to be invited to, but he's definitely poking the bears. And I told you guys before, when he was already having the conversation with Putin, because he's talking to very, very dangerous people, and it could be something to poking the bear. Okay, we saw Trump over there. We saw his health also. He's in danger. Okay, let's see America first. And then after that, we're going to check Israel for a little bit. So here is America. I'm analyzing that with you right now. America has Israel actually conjunct with Mercury in the eighth house. Mercury in the eighth house could be bribing, all right? And the sun is close to it, but it's 13 degrees away, so no, it's not that close. However, has a Israel return with Jupiter exalting it in the eighth house of mortality. Okay, so that could be something. Jupiter could be famous people, right? Jupiter is anything to do with abundance, anything to do with what is that? Um, Philosophy, politics also, not just Saturn, but Jupiter as well, but it could be also to do with publishing and talking, right? In the ninth house rules the ninth house, but right now it's exalted in the eighth on America's Israel. So obviously, and look, it is actually opposing America's Pluto. All right. What is the second house? The second house actually rules speech also. Why? Not just the third house. The second house is our throat. Okay? Somebody who is famous, Jupiter, exalted, Pluto opposition over here on Israel, deadly. Okay. All right. Let me see where is actually. So it has an Israel return with Jupiter, secrets, eighth house, anything to do with sex trafficking. That is the Epstein fire over here. However, because Jupiter is exalted, they're going to fight until they can, the very last minute, but it's going to get revealed. And I definitely think it's going to be seen, not necessarily yet, but it's going to be seen when Jupiter gonna go to Leo on June 30th because it's gonna go to America's North Node, guys, and it's going to reveal something over here with the Epstein files. Okay, so, but I just wanted to show that for you, okay? So this is obviously eighth house under, it's Hades. It's the whole house of Hades over here. So yes, guess what? And then, also it has Saturn in exaltation, America in, and it's on not close to Spica now because it's 14 degrees, almost 15 degrees. And right now Israel is 15 degrees, transit Israel. It's squaring over here. Justice system is the 11th house. Saturn is seizing justice system, seizing, not allowing. Actually, something is hidden underworld. Okay, so that's what's happening. And then what else is gonna come? Let's see. Oh, Israel. I wanted to check Israel for you guys. By the way, I'm doing a lot of video with multiple people, and it's going to be, like Europe, NATO, UK economy. It's going to be the United Kingdom as well. Let me see, where is Israel? Actually, I wanted to go to the UK as well. So we have at Russia. I know Russia doesn't care. Russia is powerful, so it's not going to allow Israel to do anything with them. Okay, so this is Israel, and right now, asteroid Israel by transit going through the midheaven and Jupiter as well. So obviously, they feel in great position, right? Okay, Saturn is in detriment for them. They have Saturn, Pluto, Mars, and natal Israel actually conjunct conjunct with Mars over there in Leo in the 11th house. All right, let's see what else can we see over here. So Mars is on the ascendant of Israel, and is it do anything? Well, it was opposing Chiron open enemies. Right now, they have a lot of open enemies, and Mars gonna go here on the ascendant. Does it do any kind of situation with Cancer? Yes, it does. Actually, it's square Cancer. The ascend on the midheaven in Cancer. Okay, so there could be some kind of major issue with alliances. So they're going to lose a lot of alliances, and they might even going to, because ascendant is their country itself, and it could create some kind of deadly attack actually, or the midheaven, because it is actually with Chiron. The midheaven is the recent government. It could be like all right, something to happening with the recent government as well. But look at that. They're going to have Saturn on the Sun in 2.5 years. So 2029, August, Saturn going to go and be exact in the eighth house of Israel Sun, and it is squaring actually with their Saturn in detriment because it's 16 degrees, so 7 degrees apart. It's create a square, but also squaring with Mars as well, and with natal Israel asteroid as well. So what's gonna happen over there, guys? I told you, I truly believe Israel committing a murder suicide, and I truly believe between 2000, end of 2029 and 2030, end of 2030, there is going to be some kind of sanction, or maybe that it's not gonna be anymore. So we will see, but that's what I see by astrology. Maybe I'm wrong. It is just like I'm just trying to translate actually the signs over here and the energy over here, but that's what I see. And also Iran is going on the ascendant, guys. By the time it's gonna be on the ascendant when Saturn, because it takes for the asteroids around 3 years, 3.5 in one side. So Saturn gonna be on the sun, then Iran gonna be on the ascendant by that time. All right. Then let me see something else over here. Maybe, oh, let me see Milakovsky, Benzion Milakovsky's chart, which is like he gave himself another name, right? He is also a Sagittarius rising, okay, just like the US. And then let's see. So the asteroid Israel and Jupiter almost conjunct actually in his eighth house. Jupiter in the eighth house not necessarily good. It's actually could create some kind of morality, mortality. Big, for example, for the US, it could be high mortality rate. For Netanyahu, it could be some kind of issue, especially because Jupiter is squaring his moon and his sun in Libra, okay? And Iran also is on his moon, okay? And squaring this Jupiterian energy in the eighth house of transitioning, right? And Jupiter exiled that. And also, the eclipse going to happen in Virgo for him, but the eclipse going to happen on America. So the eclipse supposed to be good for him for a while, but because of the previous eclipse happened in his fourth house of own land, and it's opposing, and the lunar eclipse always bad, and it's opposed asteroid America for him, which is in his 10th house, so he could have manipulated. But right now, the eclipse, the next year until August 28th, losing actually his position, definitely. But I think it could be within 6 weeks, actually. It could be within 6 weeks. All right. Yes. And so this is a secret agenda for him to actually kill every Iranian and Palestinians. Palestine by transit in the 12th house. Iran is actually the major enemy over here in the 12th house for him. So that is an agenda definitely for him. Okay, all right. And the Sagittarius rising, he has a 9-degree rising, and Uranus is already opposing in open enemies, right? And Uranus also, when it's gonna go back to drop back to Taurus for him, it's going to square his Mars in Leo, right? And yeah, and when also Mars gonna come to Scorpio over here. No, that's and then it's gonna go up to 28 degrees, then it's going to square his Mars. So it could be jailing him. All right. It could be jailing him in 6 weeks because the eclipse was opposing to his Saturn. Saturn is his government, his position in the government and America. So somehow America is withdrawing or already something gonna be leaked and it doesn't matter anymore. Or maybe also the political shift in America as well, something happening with us as well. So he's shifting as well over here. So that's what I see. But you know what, guys? Let me know your opinion about that. Right now, I'm not going to go actually to, let me see the progress chart actually for this creature. Okay, so his progress chart is uh, okay. He has Capricorn progress Sun. Let me see. Progress Mars went to Libra, but it is trining with. Okay, let me see if I see something else over here, which is really major. Oh, the progress ascendant. Oh, progress ascendant. The eclipse happened on his progress ascendant, and Pisces is eternal womb, and also it's prison as well. It's like um, jail time as well, and the eclipse happened over here. So I truly believe he's either losing his freedom, or he'll be, when Uranus comes back to the sixth house over here. It could be something to do with close to Algol. It could be something to do with he will be captive and unalive. All right, guys. So that's what I wanted to show you. But yes, I'm really, really scared for Candice Owen and Tucker Carlson going to be sabotaged also. I truly believe that, which is very, 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 very sad. You know what? Let's see Palestine, State of Palestine Declaration of Independence. Just for the record a little bit, they have another return, okay? And they have Aquarius moon, oh, and Israel on the moon, guys. You see? And is it progression? Yes, that's the progress. Israel is on their moon, and it's squaring with Pluto. Geez. So that is what's happening, the massacre over by another state, and the people is moon, right? And also it's mothers and children as well, and that's what's happening at this moment. And also the sun is in Scorpio for them, and obviously the progress Jupiter is opposing. Palestine and progress Jupiter is in Cancer. They are going to fight, and they never going to leave. They rather die. They're never going to leave. Just so you know, they're not going to give up their country. So that's what it means. Jupiter over here, it's like martyred on the homeland and fighting for the land. Yes, to keep their position and keep their land. All right, so that's what's happening over here. That Israel on their moon squaring Pluto, it's very upsetting. It's really, really upsetting. You put together whatever you want, guys, and I just wanted to really show you what's happening here. And Charles Kirk chart as well, and the influence right now, and we will see. We're gonna go and we're going to actually talk about India, Europe, NATO, the Union as well, and England. Oh, you know what? Let me see. I'm going to show you another chart. Uh, you sketch in. Okay, now I don't want to stop sharing, but I want to share. Let me see, just a second. I wanted to actually show you Britain, because I'm wondering what's going on in Great Britain. I mean, in England, obviously. So where is England? I saw that here somewhere. United Kingdom. Here. Okay, let's see. And there is progression. Yes, it is the progression. Where is Israel by progression? It's in the 11th house, right? Okay. So 11th house, actually their court system and justice system and legal system is full with Israeli lobbyists. So it's in the 11th house. All right. Let me see the crown here. Okay. Transit Israel is going through their moon right now and on their midheaven. So yes, definitely under influence, definitely under influence. But because that is Britain, and the MC has Cancer exaltation right now. When it's gonna go to the Jupiter return, there is going to be justice for the monarchy. And it is also, let me see, opposing Jupiter gonna oppose to the transit Pluto. Guys, I'm not sure how long the monarchy going to be alive. But I don't think so. It's going to be a long time because Jupiter-Pluto opposition. So I believe the next 3 years that it might not be monarchy also in Great Britain. So we will see. All right, but I truly believe that the power is changing and shifting right now. Okay, I just wanted to brainstorm with you and just analyze a few things. I'm coming out also with the other video for you guys with the with the solar eclipse, which is going to be a lot more positive, obviously, because it is something to do with some positive shift in our life. Okay. Okay. Bye for now.